So there's a few things that we want to keep in mind, right? One of which is we want to know where this is going, right? So assume that this is like a laser, bullets, despite Angelina Jolie movies, travel and more or less. Okay. So as this is here, I need to be aware as to where that muzzle is, right? Whenever you're wrestling with things, all of this is going to be messy. So this muzzle is going to be down somehow. However I'm doing this, it needs to either be pointing down as I'm doing this and doing my whatever, but I need to make sure that it's not going to send a bullet and catch a kid or a little old lady, because it's never someone that deserves to get a stray bullet and catch one. It's always someone nice, and you're going to feel terrible. So these are going to travel in straight lines. I want to go through and have this down, however my point of attachment is, right? Whatever it is I'm doing, I need to have this down. So it either points into him or at the ground, right? However it is I'm doing, whatever variation this is, it's going to be in, okay? The other thing is, people will wonder which side that they should go to, okay? There's only a few parts on your body where if you get shot, things change really quick, okay? One of them is your face, right? The other is your spine, right? So when we sever an electrical connection, like your spinal cord going down to your legs, we're all of a sudden at a huge deficit. So if I feel this on the right side of my spine, which it is, I'm going to drive in and roll. I'm going to keep it on that right side of my spine. If it's on the left side of my spine, I drive through and I keep it on the left side of my spine, right? Does that make sense? We're never crossing this, right? And so we can do like something really cool so I can point it at his face and risk shooting myself in the spine. If it's on the left side of me, I move in and I drive, right? And so we create our point of attachment and then we control this and we find out where that is in bridge our technique, okay? But it's more or less the same. I'm going to always be driving into him very quickly, right? It's not, right, like Lee is going through and teaching us to you in steps. It's really one movement as I drive because he's going to be pulling this thing away because he doesn't like what's going on. So as soon as possible, when I'm holding, come in close, you'll see that I'm on the back of his elbow. Please come. Come in real close. It's really important that you see the feedback. So however, if I'm using a C grip or whatever, if I'm wrapping this, when Jay pulls his arm and I'm above the elbow, right, you can actually, if you want to, actually pull back the reel. Right? So we notice how he creates this shelf that my hand is on. I just move with it. That's okay. He's moving around so much, I'll step on his foot. If I'm down here and he pulls, but it slips out. I need to remove his elbow to the point of articulation. So I get up here, whether I'm there, right? I need to be above. I need to be above the elbow. And as we're doing this, we do things. So if it's on one side of my spine, it stays there. If I pivot, I immediately drive. Right? I immediately drive. I want to create a point of control above the elbow. He starts pulling, that's fine, I'm driving into him. And we go through and really start doing that work with my elbow, with my knee. It's moving around too much to step on his foot. I keep the muzzle pointed down, working. Whatever that looks like, right? So if we wind up on the other side of this, I need to turn it into him. Great, okay? And finally, however it is I get this away from him, as I bring this up, I come up for a full grip. I see my magazine, I grab the top of the slide, make sure that board's covered, and I punch forward. Pulling back is kind of a pain. I'm just going to punch forward. I don't want to cover the port because I don't want to create some kind of jam. And I'm not going to point it in his face because if you're not familiar with handguns, and even if you are, you're adrenalized, you're probably going to miss. So I am going to shoot him in the crotch to test his result. Two reasons for this. If I'm going to miss, I want to miss low and hit the ground because I don't want that bullet hitting the kid or lifting, because you will feel terrible. Right? And it always hits someone nice. It doesn't hit people that deserve it. Right? The other thing is I'm going to probably just fire bursts, and somewhere in this lower area, he's going to connect. And me hitting him in the pelvis will go through and wreck his mobility. And it's fairly easy for me to line this up, even if this is here, right? If I'm aiming low and I shoot and it rises up, that's not bad, right? Line it up with your nose like pool cue and just point. Look over top like pool cue. This is the type of range you'll be able to blast them in the big bag. It's from, it's right to the beat. Cool? Not cool. Okay.